Hey, this is the second time I'm recording this video because the file got corrupted the first time because SD cards. Seltzer. And seltzer's delicious. Skip it up and that up. Hey, I feel like it's a monthly thing now. I have to tell you how much GameStop is screwed because every month there's more bad news about the company. For those of you who haven't seen my 768,000 other videos on GameStop, I'll give you a little refresher. What happened over the past, let's say 2 years. Actually, not a full 2 years, like a year and change. Let's go back to early last year when they early February last year, they appointed a new CEO, Michael Moeller. He was with the company for ages. He took the position for 3 months. 3. And then he quit for personal reasons. That's a real good way to start off the year. Makes the company seem nice and stable. Then later that year in November, GameStop reported that they had a $500 million revenue loss in the third quarter. Yeah, or close to $500 million. Let me not exaggerate. It's still terrible though. Also, their stock dropped to the lowest price it was around that time since March of 2018. So things right now are not looking good for GameStop. But there was some light at the end of the tunnel when there were 2 possible buyers of the company that were going to turn it around and save it. Don't know really how you could do that when the core business model of a company is dying and is becoming outdated. But apparently these 2 investment firms thought they could turn things around. Those 2 private equity firms were Apollo Global Management and Sycamore Partners. One of those 2 were potential buyers of GameStop, and that gave investors and GameStop themselves a little bit of hope that they could be sold and things could be turned around. But I got some bad news for you. Both Sycamore Partners and Apollo Global Management are no longer potential buyers of GameStop. Things didn't work out, and GameStop released a statement explaining why. In June 2018, GameStop's board, together with outside financial and legal advisors, commenced a review of a wide range of alternatives to enhance shareholder value. The board undertook a comprehensive review process, including discussions with third parties regarding a potential sale of the company. GameStop's board has now terminated efforts to pursue a sale of the company due to the lack of available financing on terms that would be commercially acceptable to a prospective acquirer. As part of the board's review process, as previously announced, the company sold its Spring mobile business. This transaction was completed on January 16, 2019, and generated approximately $735 million in immediate cash proceeds. The board continues to evaluate the optimal use of these proceeds, which would include reducing the company's outstanding debt, funding share repurchases, reinvesting in core video game and collectibles business to drive growth, or a combination of these options. Furthermore, the board is continuing its search process to appoint a highly qualified permanent CEO and is working with a leading executive search firm. Now, I'm not a financial analyst, so I'm going to try to put this in layman's terms. I'm pretty sure I understand what's going on. Basically, GameStop wanted XYZ for the company. Apollo Global Management and Sycamore Partners were like, your core business is dying. Those aren't financing terms we want to meet. And GameStop was like, no, we don't want to sell for that. We think we're worth more than that. And they broke ties. And now GameStop is definitely doomed. It was already definitely doomed to begin with, but what are they going to do now? Now, this GamesIndustry.biz article says that GameStop stock is down 25%. It's $11.59 a share. If I look up currently what the stock is right now, it's actually doing worse than that. It's at $11.19 a share due to this announcement that there is no buyer for GameStop. So things are not looking good, man. And I was just there today. I have Resident Evil 2 for the PC. I wanted to get it for the Xbox One X too. I'm going to play that goddamn game this week. And I feel bad. This sucks. Look, I understand that people have very bad experiences at GameStop, which mine today there wasn't that great, but I'm not going to go into details with it. Usually when I go to this GameStop too, it's usually a very good experience, but so I was kind of surprised. But GameStop to me was like, even throughout the years, I always had good experiences. And I know some people bring, oh, Rich, because that's you. They know you. You're Rich at Review Tech USA. And yeah, the guys here at this one know me. But this is before I even did YouTube. I always had generally good experiences. The people were friendly and approachable, and I never had like an exceptionally awful experience. I always bring up too, and I think I brought this up in another video recently where I just talked about GameStop having a potential buyer, that I got the PC version of Batman Arkham Asylum. I know I brought this story up, but for those who didn't see that video, and it had the terrible games for Windows DRM back then. Ugh. And it just wouldn't work on my computer. I could not get it to work. The DRM would not let me play the game. So I called them up, and technically they shouldn't have done this. I call them up and say, hey, look, I know you have a policy of not returning games. I just can't play this game on my computer. The DRM, the Games for Windows, is not letting it work. They're like, hey, Rich, don't worry about it. We'll let you get the 360 version. You just got to get the same game on a different platform. And they did. They've always helped me out. And look, this is more bad news, and the writing is on. I understand GameStop could be around, who knows, for another 5 years, but eventually it's going to go the way of Blockbuster. And we're going to lose that personal touch where you could go somewhere, where you could call somebody. Yes, digital distribution is easier. 99% of the games I own on my Switch are digital. I just got new Super Mario Brothers U. And I got it digitally. Why not? It's just easier. It's right there. I downloaded it at like 1 a.m. or something like that. But sometimes stores, I already went into the whole thing about how, kids are not going to ever have that personal experience like Toys R Us, so on and so forth. But stores to me sometimes are like an escape. When my life's going crappy and there's things going on, and I think a lot of you guys can relate to this. Sometimes just going into a place and being around a bunch of products that you're passionate about, that's part of your hobby, just kind of gives you a reprieve. It kind of like you feel like a weight gets lifted off your shoulders because you're having kind of an experience of being around something you love and enjoy. Yeah, okay. Like I went to GameStop today, and it's the guy's job. He has to ask, oh, you want protection on the disc? You want to pre-order anything? Blah, 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 blah. But I love that experience. I love walking into somewhere where it's everything that I enjoy. And I feel almost like you forget about your problems for that time that you're there. And yes, Amazon is quick and easy, and other websites are ordering parts from Newegg is quick and easy, but, well, sometimes. But that personal touch is just going away, and it's never going to come back. We're even getting to the point where people are just ordering their damn groceries. Like there's no reason for brick and mortar stores, or the reasons for brick and mortar stores are diminishing. And some of my best memories, not even as a kid, but even as a teenager and a young adult, is just like going shopping. And we're getting to the point where you're not going to have to go shopping for anything. Everything's just going to be delivered to your doorstep. And that's convenient, but it also just makes life really boring. I'm not saying life is all about being a consumer and buying things. But there'd be sometimes, I remember as a teenager going to the mall and just barely buying anything and just having fun. And that's just going to go away. Everyone's just going to order things and we're just going to be consuming robots. And that's a creepy way for the future to be. I get, consumerism, capitalism, and when things become outdated, their business model fails, they have to go away. But for everything just to come to our doorstep, feels very cold and disconnected. And I think that humans are going to have a very cold, disconnected future. And social media platforms aren't going to save it. This is Rich of Review Tech USA signing out. Have a good one.
Hey, congratulations! If you made it to the end of the video, you should subscribe to Review Tech USA so you can hear me blabber on some more. Also, too, starting this month, I will be live streaming solely on Twitch. I'll have a link to my Twitch channel below in the description. And last but not least, make sure you click that like button. It helps out the show big time. See you guys in the next video.